Hey everyone, so I wanted to give you guys a little bit of background on kind of how we got started doing everything we do and where Lyte Technology began, and kind of try to give you some context behind the scenes so then you have a little bit of an idea of what we're all about. So pretty much it first ever started right when I got out of high school. I was kind of not enjoying the job I was doing, so I was trying to find something I could do where I could kind of work on my own time and find something kind of fun. So I actually started going to garage sales and buying vintage game consoles for like a lower cost amount, and then selling it on eBay and selling the games and stuff like that. So at that point, that kind of got me onto eBay, and I started just finding just different stuff that I could buy and sell on eBay. That kind of led me to where I was bouncing around finding different stuff, and one of my friends, Michael, came up to me, who actually still works with us now. He came up to me and said, hey, I've been getting all these TVs and whatnot. I fix TVs, but there's a lot of TVs that aren't worth fixing, and I want you to sell the parts. So I started selling TV parts on eBay that he was giving me, and we were splitting the money. I was like, dude, how the hell are you getting all these TVs? Because the man would literally get like 15 TVs a week. I'm like, dude, where are you getting these TVs? So he's telling me, he's like, dude, there's this recycling company. It's just a parking lot where people just throw shit away. And you could just literally go there and grab stuff. Like, you're definitely not supposed to, but like, we're gonna. And so he would go there and get TVs, and he would try to fix the ones he can, and the ones he couldn't fix, he would just give to me, and we would sell the parts. And we started like doing pretty good doing that, where we're like, okay, let's figure out how we can dive more into this. We were also starting to like just now dabble into computers. So while we were there, like, and he was searching for these TVs and I was selling parts, we would find computers, we'd build them up, we would then sell them to just different people we knew or different people on Craigslist, and kind of got started like that. That was probably right about 2 years ago that we were doing that. And then we sat down and had a discussion like, how can we continue to grow this? And that's when we determined like, well, what if all the stuff that these people were throwing away to this recycling center, they were throwing away to us, and we were still paying nothing for them? So we decided to open a recycling center. So then that was kind of all how we first kind of got started on doing all of this, is came together and started a company called Safe and Secure Electronics Recycling, and then had the other company underneath it that just barely started, wasn't used as often, and that's called Lyte Technology. Lyte Technology was just a behind the scenes thing. Safe and Secure was the main company for a while. So we started trying to kind of collect different stuff and just overall find ways to get different equipment, find stuff that we could sell, and try to make it so without paying anything for product, we were able to get equipment, sell it, and make money. And within doing that, during that whole process, we started finding out that like, okay, we can also buy components and build up some computers. We ourselves both like gaming a lot. So we started saying, okay, well, hey, how can we build up some gaming computers? I was still mainly selling TV parts on eBay and doing all that stuff, but we started like dabbling in gaming PCs. So pretty quickly after that, pretty much like we started focusing a lot more on PCs. And so I started really like diving into like, okay, why am I putting a lot of effort into these TV parts in eBay when miscellaneous computers are actually just bringing in more money and selling more, and I enjoy doing it more. There's more face-to-face interaction, talking to customers. It was just a little bit more exciting. So that point, that's when I started going all in towards computer sales. Now at this point, it wasn't as much of gaming computers. It was more just like miscellaneous laptops, desktops, like a basic computer store. And we kind of continued with that whole plan until constantly people started contacting us more and more for gaming PCs. This is right when kind of Fortnite started to launch up. People were just constantly contacting us like, hey, I want a gaming PC. Hey, I want a gaming PC. Hey, this is my budget. I want to spend this much money. I want something. I can't find something for under $600. Hey, I want something. My budget's $400. What can you do for me? And like, they couldn't find stuff anywhere. So we started helping get people gaming computers that would let them play whatever they wanted smoothly without costing a crazy amount of money. And we were always just doing it local. And so I kind of had started with doing all of that stuff really local. And then I had at this point it was me and one other guy, Ethan, who's still with us. I really started focusing on the gaming side of it because everyone started asking us about it, but we were still just doing it in store and just had like a few people a day buying computers here and there. And then right around in November, I really had to sit down with myself and kind of thought about like, where do I want to go and what do I want to do? And obviously with the way the world is moving, online and e-commerce is pretty much like, it was kind of like my attention drew to that, and I was like, that is the option. Everything led me to that. I said, that's where we really should be. So at that point, we put a ton of time, a ton of effort into building up all of our social medias, all the Instagram, really doing a lot of like just studying on social media ads and launching Instagram ads and targeting people and just figuring it all out so that we could try to get gaming computers. So we were hitting a market that wasn't just the people within our storefront, but people worldwide. That was kind of what started lytetechnology.com. And that was when we really went all in on gaming computers. We said, we're not a recycling company anymore. Now we just buy stuff in bulk and we build and manufacture gaming computers. And that was really where we started diving in on. While we were a recycler, we were able to build up some different connections with like more major companies to be able to buy components for a pretty affordable price in bulk. And so that was then how we were able to buy stuff at a reasonable cost and be able to completely build it up, stress test it, and sell it, and make it still an affordable price for whoever wants the computer. So that was kind of where we took a turn. So right as we did that, we went 100% all in on our e-commerce store and just said, this is what we do. We're no longer a recycler. We're a manufacturer. We build and sell gaming PCs. And that was kind of what really started changing a lot of stuff around. We'd always been successful, but that kind of helped us go to another level of reaching more people. And from when we launched that back in November, we had our first online sale in November. Was the very first sale we ever had, was November 15th. Was the first sale we had on the website. And now it is, what is it now? Anything right? April, May. So right now it's May 14th. And now 95% of our sales come from our e-commerce store. We have the occasional people that walk in and whatnot, but it's most people buy stuff online, and that's where we put all of our effort into. And now our big thing is just trying to kind of help build a connection with you guys to show you guys a little bit more about what we're about, so you feel like you know us and that you can ask us questions and that like we're here to help rather than just like a faceless company. That's kind of our big goal right now, is just making sure that like we kind of are very open with people so they can see what we're about and see who we are, because just like you, we all started off as gamers. So then we started really focusing on finding parts and finding a really good connection for parts aside from the connections we already had. At that point, we started reaching out to a lot of different companies, building up connections, saying, hey, if we purchase this quantity, let's work out this price. Hey, if we're willing to buy this and guarantee that we'll stick with you for this long, what kind of deals can we get? And just overall trying to do a lot of different stuff. That's the main thing I'll do on my day-to-day basis, is try to just work out deals with different people and build up kind of just different connections and relationships, because that's just what I find to be enjoyable. Like, that's my favorite part of it, is just talking to people and building stuff up. So once we kind of started to find some different suppliers that we were like, okay, we're going to steadily work with these people, like we really like these people, let's stay working with them. Then we started just really kind of pumping out different stuff that we're doing online. And at that point, we had kind of continued to amp up and adjust our different, like our ads on Instagram and Facebook. I'm sure that's how a lot of you guys have found us, is just different Facebook and Instagram ads. So we started adjusting those, creating new content, and just targeting a little bit differently. And we did that. Then we started launching a lot of actual YouTube content and video content of just us and different things behind the scenes to kind of help show you guys a little bit more about what we're about. And we just started getting hit with like a really high volume of sales. Like a really high volume of sales just started coming through the door. We're like, oh, okay. We were doing really, really good as soon as we launched the e-commerce store, and now we took it from, okay, we were at this to this. Now we got hit with the high volume sales, so now we went from this to this. And now we're hiring more people. We're constantly building up, and just continuing to grow as we add more individuals in and continue to keep up with the demand you guys have. So for all that, the only thing we can do is thank you guys, because if it wasn't for you, we wouldn't be able to do any of this. We wouldn't be making videos. We wouldn't have any content out, and we wouldn't be able to be doing the different things that we enjoy, which is PCs and gaming. So that's one big thing that I have a shout out to you guys for, because we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys wanting computers. So yeah, we're at a point right now where we're just continuing to aim towards growing. We're at such a more, I'll say, entry-level phase of where we're going to be. Stay tuned and see, because in 1 year, where I'm sure we're going to be at a whole nother level, and it's going to be really cool for you guys to have been with us from the beginning. So just try to stay tuned to some of the stuff we're doing. If you have any questions with anything about whether it's related to our computers or just related to us, or you're curious about stuff, reach out at any time. Like, we work hard to make sure that we try to keep our customer service and everything as high as possible. So if you have any questions, reach out. Hope you enjoyed that. Maybe we'll do another video in a year from now saying where we are from here to there. So stay tuned, and see you next time.